Healing Path. I'm Laura Donnelly, founder of the Healing Path Conversation Series and Dancing with Ease Body Brain Balance. People hire me to teach them to move out of pain and into healing. These conversations with friends and colleagues offer many perspectives on healing, and I have a really broad definition of healing. The thing we have in common is the concept that healing begins inside ourselves with the decision to heal, and it expands outward from there. I'm very happy to share with you the goodness that comes from my friend Liz Wilcox. She's an online friend that I met, because if something is easy and helps me live my life better, I think that that's a healing thing. And if you have an online business, you really need to have email. And sometimes my approach to email was not easy. And this is how I discovered Liz. So I'm going to bring her on here, and she'll share with us a little bit about her journey and how she helps people have more fun with email. Here we go. Hi, Liz.
Hi, friends. Thank you so much for having me today. I am really excited to have this conversation.
I'm so glad that you could be here and that we could share about. Okay, one of my favorite things about you is you have this completely can do and it can be easy approach to email, and I love that. How did that happen?
Yeah, thank you. How did that happen? I think that's just how I approach life. It was, I don't know, less than a decade ago, 7, 8 years ago, I heard someone say, "What would this look like if it was easy?" Or, if that's not possible, what would this look like if it was fun? And I've just adopted those like as my own sort of mantras for life and business, right? So anytime I find myself, on the struggle bus or frustrated that day or feeling overwhelmed, I just kind of laugh to myself and ask myself those two questions. What would this look like if it was easy? And honestly, I mean, Laura knows it, I know it, you know it. Sometimes life isn't easy, right? Sometimes there is no easy option, there's no easy button. So that's why I always have that follow up. What would this look like if it was fun? Well, if it was fun, maybe I'd just get it over with, right? Or maybe I just turn some music on. Maybe I'd ask a friend to come over and help me. Uh, you know, Maybe I give myself a treat or a reward after, right? Because this is not easy or fun. But if I can, have a chocolate bar at the end, maybe that will make it fun. And so, as far as email goes, those are the two questions I ask myself as well. But it's really rooted and grounded in that's really how I try to live my life, with ease, with fun, with even simplicity. And it just bleeds into everything I do.
It's exactly how it is. And if I'm writing an email that isn't fun to read, okay, if it's not fun for me to write, how can I make it fun for somebody to read? If it's not fun for them to read, or at least interesting, why are they going to read it? And
Yeah.
if I'm trying to communicate, and like you said, this bleeds into your whole life. So the people I want to communicate with are people who are looking for more ease and joy in their lives, who want to be, doesn't have to be joyfully, ridiculously happy all the time, just a little happier every day. And
Right.
and so and now you're going to laugh at this. Is Liz has a really wonderful email membership that she created, and it's like my personal bank of, if I'm like, oh, what do I need to do today or this week, I can go in there and get inspired. If I want to write a little series of emails to welcome people to something, I can go in there, and I don't have to create the wheel of, well, it needs to say this on the first day and that on the second day, and then it needs to say that. And I just go, oh, this is how Liz did it. How can I apply this to my thing? And it's just for me a much easier shift than starting from, it's like having a writing prompt. Actually, it's like having a writing prompt. So instead of staring at the blank screen, I have your prompts. And in the back of my mind, I always know it's there so that whatever I need, I can dive in there and find it. So to
Right.
me, that made a year ago, that's made me say, why now? I was like, I need this easier right now, and this is going to help me. And then email, dude. I can't tell you the number of people that got shut off of social. They had thousands of people on their social media platform, and they just got cut off.
Right.
Different
Yeah,
ones.
let's talk about that. So, raise your hand if you were alive in 2022 and you watched a billionaire purchase a social media platform. Now that social media platform has an entirely new name. Its largest advertisers are leaving in droves. If you built your platform on something like that, talk about the antithesis of healing. Building, your business, uh, your audience on a different platform, and suddenly someone rips it out from under you. That's going to be incredibly stressful. That's the opposite of ease. And so, why I love email so much, and speaking of, why this has helped heal my relationship with marketing, even, is because it's this more intimate platform where, to Laura's point, you can write from the perspective of, hey, I found this interesting. Maybe you'll find it interesting too. Um, and you own the platform, you own your email list, right? No one billionaire can swipe it up from under you, because unfortunately that's the world we live in, where there are people with that much power. I mean, I didn't really get it until that happened with that little blue bird, formerly known as Twitter, right? And so with email, we can really we can really write to our people. We're not writing for an algorithm, we're writing to our people, right? And we're finding those people that jive with us, right? There are a million and one email marketers, but there's only one that Laura asked to be on her show, right? There's a reason why, she is energetically aligned with me, and so on. There are some people, they look at me, you might, if you're just listening to the podcast and not watching the video, you can't see me, but I've got rainbow glasses. I have an NSYNC shirt. I've got Poppy from the Trolls movie in the background. I'm very, I don't know, sort of flamboyant and fun, loving, and some people that certainly won't, align with. But what I love about email, and if we want to bring it to how it can help you heal, I've been emailing for 7, almost 8 years now consistently. And I've really leaned into myself. Like, the Liz you see today wasn't the Liz that presented herself, back in 2016, et cetera. But, writing, even when using prompts or templates, you find your voice. The way Laura probably used my templates 6 months ago is not the way she's using them now, right? She talked about using them as writing prompts. A lot of people just tell me they copy and paste, right? You're all on this healing path, and part of that is finding your voice. And what I do, and what I love to do with email, is to just help you take those first few steps, and kind of like a mama bird, and one day, I hope to be able to kick you out of the nest. You're flying on your own, and you don't need me anymore. I love cancellations where people say, yeah, I've been in for about a year and I've found my voice, and I just find that I write what I want to write. I don't need Liz's help anymore. And I'm like, yay, that's exactly what I wanted. So as far as email, why do we need email? Why do we need email right now? It really helps you connect. It helps you find your voice. And once you find your voice, Oh my gosh, like how far are you on that healing path, right?
Exactly. And it's also okay, like the other thing that happens is maybe you do an event, a bundle or something, and you get a bunch of people on your list and you don't know them. They don't know you. They were interested in something that you put out. And that's cool. That's very cool. I mean, how do we meet people otherwise? Um, but then, then it's very easy to say, well, if I don't say the right thing, they're going to drop off. But what you were talking about is communication. We don't jive with everybody. We don't Our ideas don't fit with everybody. And if we don't write authentically, then maybe people stay on our list who aren't really potential good, what do I want to say? People that we'll have a good exchange with. We're presenting not our real self, and they are engaging with not our real self. And so how can I sell my real work if it's not me? And so
Absolutely.
so I do say that about people. I say, I really like Liz's energy. It fits my energy. It is, whenever I go to one of her lives or I do anything, I'm like, okay. And I say, and if it works for you, please, please check it out. If it doesn't work for you, there will be somebody that works for you because there's a million people in the world. But
Right.
there aren't, for me, there aren't a lot of people that make emailing fun. And today I was talking to somebody in email, a nice conversation about procrastination. And she
Mm,
said, well,
mhm.
I have this thing I'm releasing. I got my sequence, but I'm not putting it out yet. It's not perfect. And I'm like, oh yeah, gave that one up because perfect. I mean, you do it. If you do it, like you said, you started in 2016. If you waited to be who you are now, you wouldn't have gotten here
Amen.
because you wouldn't have done all the things in between that got you to be who you are now. And
Absolutely.
so if we be honest and say, hey, let me know what you think about this email. Let me know if this resonates with you. I um i i think it's interesting, but if you don't, go find somebody else. You don't only have so much time in your life and world to read. So, and you're right, it's our platform. Our email is our platform, and we can design it the way we want, which is another. I mean, I don't have your exact flamboyance. Where's my picture? I have this picture. I have a different energy and flamboyance. And part of working with your emails, your templates and things is like, oh, I don't have to be like everybody else. And in the beginning of the online journey, with you've like, well, you have to have an email list, and you have to do this, and you have to engage people this way, and you have to. And then I saw you. I was like, I saw your work. I'm like, I don't have to do all those things. And that for me was super, super energizing and fun. And that's healing. When our energy moves, I think that that's healing inside of us.
I love that. And yeah, it's the same as, what Laura teaches about, moving closer to your authentic self and healing from whatever is in the past is I think the key there. Like you won't be where you are if you don't just get started. And so what Laura is talking about with email, a lot of marketers will say, "Oh, you have to have a funnel and segments and all this like fancy guru jargon." And I say, actually, the same as Laura, like actually if you just get started, maybe one day you'll get there. But you're living in the future. Let's live in the present, right? And I'm sure that's part of healing too. We can't live in the past. Oh gosh, my emails a year ago totally sucked. I haven't emailed in a year, and we can't live in the future of, oh, I've got to segment my list and learn all these things. We have to live in the right now. And the right now reality is probably, okay, I've got 50 subscribers. I haven't emailed them in a few weeks or a few months. and I don't know what to say. Those are the people that I love to help. Like, you're ready to get going, you're just a little unsure. And for me, it's just what Laura said, like, write like a human to another human. What do you have to say today? Did you find something interesting on Instagram or Facebook that you think your people would be interested in as well? Hey, I saw this on Facebook and I thought of you. Here's a link. I hope it makes you laugh the same way it made me laugh, or I hope it makes you think the same way it made me think. Hit reply if this was relevant. I loved that Laura said that, because you can't get feedback if you don't ask. You can't get feedback if you don't move forward. That's the same in your personal life, right? If you never have conversations with people, you might never know why people don't talk to you, right? Or, why everything feels awkward. So that's the same with what I'm teaching with email. Is just, what have you got to say today? How can you write it not for the masses, but write it, oh, I know Liz is on my list. What does Liz have to say today? I'm just going to write this for Liz today. And, chances are there's a lot more than one Liz on your email list. So you might get more than one response. You might connect with more than one person, but really just that human to human experience, that's going to help you move into, an email marketing strategy that works for you. And, like I said earlier, like, heal any past marketing anxiety that you have right now.
I mean, I tell you, it is so fun when you let go of all those old rules. I mean, and a lot of times procrastination comes because there's something not in alignment with me about one of those rules. And so then I don't do it because I don't know. Well, okay. I'm just being really stubborn, and and if it doesn't work, I won't do it. But then that stops the whole flow. And if I say, what if, it's a different set of questions than your questions, but can this be easy? If it can't be easy, can it be fun? And I'm like, what if it doesn't have to be this way?
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that, you know, and then I'm like, who told me it had to be this way? Is this my idea? Or is this something that I absorbed? And if I absorbed it and it was, even if it was useful a year ago, a month ago, a week ago, but it doesn't work today, that's the kind of, so then that's a lot of what I write to my people, you know.
I love
And I
that.
can't tell you the number of times I would write and say, okay, here's my new plan. I'm going to write once a month.
But
Every time.
that's Laura showing up as her true self, right? And the right people will align with that. I I really love that, she said, "Oh, I got a new plan this week. I got a new plan that week." It's being authentic, and it's giving, her readers permission to change their minds too. We should all have permission to change our minds, right? Yeah, I love that so much.
And then the next week, that's not the plan. Now talking to you, I'm like, okay, I'm going to write that to them. Oh, this is not the plan this week. This was the plan last week. And if I do last week's plan this week, I'm not here now. And that was something you said that I think is really important too. We can't we can't be in the future. We can just be here. We can throw our brain backwards into the past, and that's kind of regret and stuff. And if we throw it into the future, that's worry. But if I'm right here, right now I have at least 3 ideas about what I want to say in my email this week. And I'm pretty excited. And one time after reading one of your emails, I wrote this bizarre email where I just said, okay, like these are the things that are making me happy this week. And one of them was the Merlin bird app. I don't know if you know that, but you can identify all kinds of birds with this little app. It's a free
Oh,
app.
awesome.
And you can, it has a sound recording thing. So if you hear a bird, but you don't know what it is, you can record the sound and it will give you the bird that makes that sound.
That's
So
amazing.
I spent hours on my little back porch recording birds. And that was my email. But it brings me joy and happiness, and it is easy. It's easy to just click that button. And so I would have never shared that kind of silliness, right? That and that kind of privateness of how I use my time. But I think a lot of people wrote back to me, "Oh, I didn't know about that app. Oh, I love that app. Oh, I use that app all the time. Oh, I have to get that app." And so that honest, fun sharing brought in more response and energy than when I write one of my serious emails. I had an idea
Yeah.
that it all had to be serious, marketing focus.
Right. Well, I love that because I always say, y'all, we're trying to make friends in the inbox, right? And that's how we can really set ourselves apart from the people that are taking themselves too seriously or the giant marketers, that pay marketers who pay marketers to write their stuff, right? And so by sharing, just a little piece of yourself, that's how we make friends. And I'm not talking about, the friend that we share all our dirty laundry with, because we've also gotten those emails, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know you. And why are you telling me this? And this is sort of cringy, as the cool kids nowadays would say. But we just want to share those little, I don't know, little snippets of our life to remind people, hey, I'm a real person, and this is who I am. And maybe you're into it and maybe you're not, right? I'm not a bird watcher, but I would have loved that email because it would have shown me more of Laura. Oh, that does sound like an interesting thing. My mom or my sister would love that app. I'm going to tell them about it. And suddenly I'm relating to you, right? I'm thinking of ways that you've helped me in my personal life, right? So that's going to build up that know, like, trust factor way better than what Laura was saying of, oh, I've got to tell this hero's journey story or this, I've got to be super markety and, where am I inserting my pain points and this and that? Like, remember, we're just real humans writing to real humans. So just do that and see what happens. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I love that. Real humans writing to real humans. I think that's really incredibly important, especially with all the pressure to use AI and
Mm,
and upload your writing so that the AI bot can speak in your language. Well, the AI bot doesn't know how I feel today. The AI bot,
amen.
it cannot really communicate human to human. I mean, even those phone things, right? I had to call someplace the other day, and it took me longer to get through the automated phone system with the automated voice. And then once I got to an agent, she did my request in like 2 minutes.
Right.
And I'm like, if I could have just gotten a human right away, that would have been so much more efficient and faster and more pleasant. And I'm going to tell you this silly story, and you can laugh about it. But in the last year, since I started getting your things, part of what I help people do is solve problems, and mostly solve problems by how they're thinking of them. Which is why I wanted to share your work here, is because how you think about email is really, how do I say, like buoyant and joyful
Mm-hmm.
compared to uh, this is a pillar of my marketing plan and it must be. And like, no, you're always saying like, well, if this doesn't work, try that. If this doesn't work, here's something else you can do. And so that makes me happy. But and I probably lost my train of thought, but that's what I like. And it's freedom. And if the other thing comes back, it will come back. And if it doesn't, it wasn't for here.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you so much. I really love email. I love that it allows me to be myself. It allows me to truly connect with people. I've met so many people, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people in real life from my email list. And, as far as, if we want to talk about business results, I'm doing all right for myself. I support 2 households. I'm a single mom. So I am also, we are in business, so we have to make money. But when I find that I'm really connecting those human to human experiences we were talking about, I can write emails and I can create products and position them in a way where I know, oh yeah, Laura said this. I created this just for Laura, right? Y'all, my first product was a book called Tales from the Black Tank. And if you're not familiar, a black tank is where your sewage goes in your RV. So in your caravan, your travel trailer. I used to be an RV travel blogger. I only wrote that because so many people were sharing, ridiculous stories and talking about how tired they were of the hashtag RV life on Instagram and how it wasn't really reality. I never would have written that book, but I realized, yeah, I'm kind of struggling too. And I'm just so over the social media perfection. I'm going to write a very sarcastic, very ridiculous, off the wall book. And y'all, that book, I only had 300 people on my email list when I launched it. It made over $7,000 in the first 90 days. It got picked up by an international sponsor that gave me money to, promote it for free for their email list growth. But I never would have created that if I wasn't having those human to human experiences. If other people weren't telling me, yes, Liz, I bought an RV and, I love it, but it also totally sucks too. Like you're not in the wrong boat. Like we're all in the same boat. And so I wrote that book, and that's what email can do for you. It's this much more intimate channel where people open up, people know like, oh, that's Liz. She popped up in my inbox. I want to listen. She's going to share today. I love that. Right. And the people that don't, they'll leave the email list. Right. And that's fine. And then I can create those products just for people that I've been talking to, right? Like I was saying earlier, I know Liz is on my list, but there's probably a dozen Liz's. If Liz is interested, maybe I've got a dozen people who will be interested and just move from there. And, I firmly believe in the power of email. It's changed my life in the most amazing ways. It's helped me heal from a lot of past, like, oh, I'm not good enough. I was kind of a weirdo in school, didn't have a lot of friends, thought I didn't know how to talk to people. Well, it turns out I'm really, really good at talking to people. And so it's really helped me heal that part of myself. So yeah, email for the win. I will always be passionate about email marketing.
I'm so glad, and I'm so glad, that I intersected with you, and I the this thing that you mentioned too is the people saying that kind of cringeworthy stuff, that too much. I love that you're like not like encouraging people to like bare their soul. My email list is people that I'm friends with, but these are like you said, these are not the people that get all the you know nitty gritty. They're not my family. They're not my first circle of friends. They're a little bigger
Mhm.
circle of friends, and it doesn't mean they're not friends and they're not good. But I did start cleaning my inbox by writing back to people who send out a terrible problem, and I write back and I say, "Oh, if you really have this problem, here's my calendar link. I would love to talk to you about it because." And and if they don't even write back, I just like, then why am I watching these people? They don't really want to know who I am. They don't really want to know what's going on in my life. And when I go to a live that you do, when I read your email, a lot of times when I read your email, I'm like, oh yeah, I've had that feeling. I know what she's talking about. And that, as you said, builds a know, like, and trust. And so if I have a problem, I feel okay writing to you and saying, "Hey, I did this and it bombed." You know, I mean,
Mm.
and I don't mind exposing myself to you because I know that your premise is this can be easy and fun. And so if I did something and it bombed, and I ask you, oh, and from all of your experience, which is different than mine, you might look at it for 2 seconds and say, "Oh, here, this is where this communication went sideways for you. And other people, I just wouldn't even show them my stuff. I wouldn't ask for.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome to hear. And that's such a testament to the power of email. What I was saying, like such a more intimate channel. Laura might not go on my Facebook group and, share the screenshots and say, where did I go wrong? Right. But with email, that person, when you build up that trust, that person can know, yes, Laura's going to read this email for me. Liz is going to be there for me. And like Laura, I don't take one-on-ones right now simply because of my calendar. But especially when I was slinging those, I give the advice and then I say, if you want to dive deeper, let's get on a call. Based on what you just said in this email, here's my advice. If you want to go deeper or you want to talk more, here's my calendar link. And that's a great way to, build that clientele.
So if and even if people don't have a business, this is what I wanted to say. Being your real self, even if you're just sending emails to your family or your Christmas letter via email, how much nicer is it to be the real you than what do I want to say? The image perfect you.
Mm,
So
mhm.
if you want to know more about Liz, I have her links to connect with her are in the description, and they're also flowing across the screen. She does have a wonderful monthly email marketing membership that will send you. Is it like just one template a month or one template a week? See, I can.
It's one template a week. So she's talking about email marketing membership. It's $9 a month. Every single week, I send you a template for you to take and make your own. When we talk about how to, take a template and like use it for your own voice, I provide samples, video walkthrough, a skeleton outline, so you can really see what the template is trying to do for you, and you can write it in your own way. You also get monthly Q&As. That's where, you get that one-on-one with me, what Laura was talking about when she hops on Zoom with me. I love those so much. I love serving in that capacity. You also get some expert trainings and some foundational stuff on like list building, talk more about how do we create friends in the inbox, all that stuff. $9 a month. I'd love for you to give it a go. Cheaper than Netflix, baby.
Totally. And it's a gift that keeps giving. So thank you so much, Liz, for sharing your journey, your joy, your and your ease with how you approach a topic that I think really stymies a lot of people in even my brother. Oh, I love my brother. But he thinks my email should be 2 sentences, period. And that's not me. That's not
Right.
me. And uh so so this is permission to be who you are. And it's really for me joyful. So that's why I wanted Liz to talk about why email and why now. So please check out her website. And if you have any questions, send
Hit
her
me up,
an
babe.
email. Yeah. Hit the
Yeah,
connect
just
button.
send me an email. Yeah, you can go directly to thiswilcox.com. In the top right-hand corner, there's a hot pink button. You can't miss it. You'll get a lot of like samples from that $9 membership, and you'll be able to hit reply to any of those emails I send out to you with questions. I really am the one answering. Sometimes you'll get my assistant, Patricia, but usually it will be, hey, Liz is off for the day. She'll get to this tomorrow. Just wanted to let you know. Anyway, LizWilcox.com. Love, love, love to help you with your email marketing. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate it. Have a great day.